Hi guys, my name is Elisa Gallios and I'm actually recording this video specifically because I am a part of a support group for young widows, and we had a thread going in there of people asking about when you get remarried, if you're widowed and you decide to get remarried and you are lucky enough to have had children with your late husband, should you change their last name to match your possible new last name and your new husband's last name? So everyone is kind of sharing in that thread. I wanted to just put together a little video explaining how I came to the decision, just because people were asking me to respond, and I just figured it might be a little easier to talk through it versus typing it out. And I get this question sometimes just randomly on social media, so I decided to put together a video just so that I have a quick link to send out, and I can really give you guys my thoughtful thoughts. So for me and my story in particular, I met my late husband when I was 20. Technically, actually met him when I was 19, got married to him when I was 20. Absolutely most incredible individual ever. His name was Nicholas Magnotti, and he actually was re-diagnosed with his cancer. We were very surprised by it, but when I was 15 weeks pregnant with our daughter, and he ended up starting in-home hospice care when she was 5 months old, and then passed away when she was 9 months old. I'm giving you these background details because I do think that they played into my decision. But one of the things, that I was lucky enough to be able to talk to him about things before he passed, because we had some, heads up of what was coming. And so we did talk about, last name, or not last names, but we talked about kind of plans for Austin, our daughter, and kind of what he thought. And basically underlying every single question I had for him, his answer was that we should do, and I should do the best that I can do, like the best, whatever I thought was going to be the best for her at the time. And it's hard to predict how you're going to feel in advance, right? When Nick passed away, I never thought I would ever get remarried. I never thought that, I couldn't picture having kids with anybody else. I couldn't picture any of that. But fast forward years after he passed away, and I did get remarried to an incredible man named Jay Gallios. And at first, I even went back and forth on if I was going to change my name. But after thinking about it more, I knew that I wanted to match my husband's last name. And really a lot of that, my second husband's last name, a lot of that just came from knowing, that's the person that I'm here with on earth. That's my earthly husband, my current husband. And I wanted to honor him in that. And I wanted us to be able to be a united family with a united last name. Again, this is just my opinion, my experience. This might not be the same for everyone, but I wanted to be able to be the Gallios family. And as far as our daughter went, my second husband adopted Austin legally when she was 3.5 years old, almost 4. And for us, again, we went back and forth on, do we keep Magnotti in her name? Do we just have her stay with just Magnotti? And it came down to us not wanting her to have to explain for the rest of her life why her last name was different than the rest of her family. Jay and I knew we wanted to either adopt more children or have more children of our own. We actually have had our own, so we have an 18-month-old sleeping upstairs. I'm actually 8 months pregnant with another one, so we're going on baby girl number 3. And so we didn't want Austin to have to explain to people or tell people that her last name was different than everyone else in her family. And at this point, fast forward, we're now going to be a family of 5, and she would be the only one with a different last name. We think that it's very important that she feels fully free to share her story and about her biological dad. And she knows all about her biological dad. She's almost 7 years old now, which is so crazy. But we want her to be able to share that story on her own terms and when she wants to, and not maybe every start of the school year or every time she has to write her full name or say her full name or anything like that. So that was kind of our thinking. At the time, I was nervous about it. I lost sleep over it. I prayed about it. I talked to other widows. I talked to my counselor, my pastor, so many different people. And, not everyone agreed with what we came up with at first, or this idea. But going on, 3-4 years later now, I'm so glad we made the decision that we did for our family. It was the right choice for sure for our family. And there's no way I could imagine doing it any differently. That being said, it doesn't mean it's the right choice for every family, right? Austin was 9 months old again when her biological dad passed away. So she has the memories of Nick that we share with her. She has the photographs and the stories, but she doesn't have her own memories of her dad. And as far as she'll be able to remember for her life, her physical father will be Jay. And at this point, Jay's been in her life 4 or 5 times longer than her biological dad was able to be. So when we were making the decision, that was part of it too, right? She was very, very young when he passed. So, and we knew she wouldn't struggle with identity issues or, changing her name at that point, anything like that. She had barely learned her last name at that point, So it all totally depends. Again, I think there's no right or wrong way, but I wanted to share that with you guys just in case that helps somebody else and tell you how we came to that decision. And again, tell you just how great I guess it has turned out that there's been no drama, no nothing after the fact. I also did want to touch on, somebody was asking about survivor's benefits. So we did get survivor's benefits through Social Security after Nick passed away. I used to get a benefit every month. Austin got a benefit every month. Once I remarried, you do lose your benefit as the spouse, the widow. So I lost all of my benefits. I gave that monthly stipend up to Mary J. But Austin will continue to get her stipend, I think, until she's 16 or 18. And changing her last name does not affect that whatsoever. So she is still obviously Nick's biological daughter and is able to get help that way. So anyway, I think that's it. And I hope you guys have a good day. That's all I got. Okay.